Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are tackling what might be one of the toughest commands in all of dog training, the out-of-sight stay. It's a massive test of trust and focus, and we're going to break it down with a method that sets both you and your dog up for a win, right from the very first try. So let's start right here. This quote from trainer Zach George really gets to the heart of it. For a dog, especially a young one, you disappearing while they're supposed to stay put, it's not just a simple test of obedience. Try to see it from their perspective for a second. It's a serious mental workout that kind of challenges how they see the world.
Okay, so that's the big question, right? And the answer, maybe surprisingly, isn't about pushing your dog through anxiety or correcting them when they break the stay. The real secret is to completely reframe how you approach it and turn the whole thing into a game where your dog feels like a genius at every single step.
Before we even get into the actual how-to steps, we need to talk about the mindset behind this whole technique. Honestly, this is the foundation. If you get this part, everything else just falls into place. This is the big one. This is the fundamental shift in thinking. Most of us, we wait for the dog to make a mistake, and then we correct it. This strategy completely flips that on its head. We are going to build a training plan that makes it almost impossible for the dog to fail. The goal is a perfect record, built on one tiny success after another.
So how do we guarantee success? Well, we use something called the breakdown method. Think of the out-of-sight stay as this huge 10-foot wall. You're not going to ask your dog to jump over it in one go. Instead, you're going to break that wall down into tiny individual bricks, steps that are so small and so easy that your dog pretty much can't help but succeed. And this quote just nails that whole idea. Professional trainers, they aren't magicians, they are just masters of making things incredibly easy. They're actively looking for any reason, no matter how small, to reward the dog and say, yes, that's it, you got it. It's this constant positive momentum that builds truly rock-solid, confident behavior. All right, so let's put this philosophy into practice. We're going to start with the very first time you disappear, and we'll use a simple door to build that foundation of trust and teach your dog that you coming back is a totally predictable and awesome event. Just look how small these steps are. In step one, you're not even leaving the room. Just cracking the door an inch, that's your first win, and you reward that. Then you close it, open it again, and reward again. With every little click of the latch and every treat, you are building this positive, predictable pattern of trust around the door itself. Now here are a few crucial keys for this first session. The reinforcement has to be fast, like treat after treat to keep them totally engaged. You can even drop a few extra treats on the floor just to keep them busy. And this is so important. Watch their eyes. They'll tell you everything you need to know about their focus and their comfort level. And remember, your first disappearance might literally last for half a second, and that's a huge win. To really make this work, you have to shift your perspective and try to understand what this is actually like for your dog. This isn't about them being naughty, it's about their reality. This is so fascinating because it totally reframes the problem. We see them breaking a stay and we think it's disobedience, but we have to remember, our dogs don't understand that things still exist when they can't see them, not like we do. So when you vanish behind a door, for all they know, you've just blinked out of existence, or maybe you're in trouble. So them getting up isn't defiance, it might actually be them coming to check on you, like, hey, are you okay in there? And that is why that rapid, positive reinforcement is so critical. Every treat you give when you reappear is more than just a reward for staying. It's a message. It's you saying, see, I'm okay. I always come back, and you did the perfect thing by waiting for me. You're not just rewarding a stay, you're teaching them that their world is safe and predictable. Okay, so once your dog has really mastered the concept in one spot, like at that doorway, it's time to help them understand that this rule applies, well, everywhere. This is a classic hurdle in dog training. See, dogs are super contextual learners. To them, a stay by the front door might feel like a totally different command than a stay in the kitchen. They don't automatically generalize the rule. So it's our job to practice in new spots, like asking for a stay at the top of the stairs while you just walk down a few steps. You're proving the stay rule applies there too. This chart right here is basically your roadmap. If your dog succeeds, awesome! You can dial up the difficulty just a tiny bit next time. But this is the most important part. If your dog breaks the stay, it is not a failure. It's just information. It's your dog telling you, whoa, that was a little too hard for me right now. And your job as the trainer is to listen to that and make the very next try ridiculously easy, just to get them right back on the path to success.
So let's wrap this up with your homework. First and foremost, keep this fun and positive.
It should feel like a game, not a chore. And remember the golden rule. If your dog messes up, just make the next try easier. No big deal. As they get better, practice in different places around the house to help them get the idea. And only then, slowly, gradually, start to increase how long they wait and how far you go. Patience is everything.
You know, the most powerful part of this whole thing isn't really just about the out-of-sight stay. This entire philosophy of breaking things down into tiny pieces and just finding reasons to declare success, you can apply this to almost any training challenge you and your dog will ever face. It really does change everything.